And I'm Serena.
And we are here today with two lovely guests, Astrid and Kevin. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you guys.
Welcome. Before we get into anything, I do want to just throw this out there. 7 Game 7s in a row, 7 times, 7 losses, the Toronto Maple Leafs. How do you feel about that?
It's just a lifestyle at this point.
It's horrible.
Actually, Astrid, you lived in Florida for a while. So were you somewhat cheering for Florida or no?
So I had only been to like 1 or 2 hockey games before I ever met Kevin. So I instantly became a Leafs fan. And now I'm 7 years into just being disappointed year after year and realizing this is just the way my kids are going to grow up.
Have you guys been together for 7 years?
Yeah.
7 years. It would have been
7 years.
2018, right, Joe? Was the Paradise first season? Yeah, it was 2018.
Damn. Doesn't feel like a coincidence that ever since you guys have been together, the Leafs are losing in Game 7.
So I thought it was going to be a fun podcast. I didn't know we were going deep and
right away.
Right off the hop here.
It's heartbreaking being a Leafs fan.
It is like game off. Astrid knows game off. Remote slammed me, taking the dogs out halfway through the second period. Didn't even turn it back on again. I know it too well.
Brutal. So yes, you guys, we'll get into it, but you guys, you met on Bachelor in Paradise. Astrid, you were on Nick Viall's season. Kevin, you were on the first Bachelorette season of Canada, correct?
Season, yeah. And then I did the Bachelor Winter Games. That's when I went over to the ABC side.
Yeah. We'll get into that too. But what before we do, what's new with you guys? Anything?
We're just in like the thick of it with kid stuff. I feel like we are just.
Do you have 2 under 2?
2 under 3. So Augie's 3.5 and Nasha's 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's just chaos.
So you're just like in the trenches. This is like every day is a war. You start with like a pep talk at the start of the day. And at the end of the day, it's like a glass of wine. And like, all right, that was a good day or a bad day. Let's start again tomorrow. Anybody who says parent, I think it's the hardest thing I've ever experienced. And I've done a lot. I think I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like I worked 24 hours yesterday. When she's at home with the 2, I'm like, I can't believe that people undersell this and say, motherhood is so great. It is the hardest job. No more sugarcoating. It is incredible. If you're a good mother, it is the best job ever.
Okay, well, why have 2? Why not I heard like 1 from like my friends that have kids. I heard like 1's easy. Easier.
Well, because you're 2 against 1.
And then when you have 2, it's just like, that's it. Game over.
Well, now it's just one-on-one, right? When we just had Augie, it was one of us could take a break while the other person took the kid out. Once you add the second to the mix, now he's with Augie all the time because Nash is such a Velcro baby too. He's like stuck on me. Yeah. You're just becoming slowly outnumbered. And the energy that they have, you just don't have in your 30s and 40s anymore. Yeah. And they just don't stop. So we don't have much going on other than just surviving.
I think having the second is key, though. Like we're starting to get into the point now where they play together. And I think if we just had 1, it would always be one of us has to be like on. But right now they're starting to get to the age where we'll kind of sit back and realize, okay, now they're chatting with each other. They're playing with toys. And once like the brotherhood thing starts where you can just throw them in the backyard with some baseballs or a football or something, like that's what I'm looking for.
Once they're a little more independent and like can interact with each other.
Yeah. Once they can play together and we can just throw them out back and kind of watch them, and then we're good.
Well, our producer on this podcast has a beautiful little boy and she is now currently expecting her second. What advice would you give to her or any parents out there that are about to have their second child?
Soak up all that you can with your first child. Like as the mom, when this newborn comes, you're just all of a sudden just back to nursing or bottles and nighttime wakings and all of the chaos. And you kind of just like don't get to see your first kid a bit in the beginning. So I would say spend that quality time together. And also just remember that everything is temporary. Like that's what we keep trying to remind ourselves of is like, as soon as you get really good at one phase, then it switches again. So the same goes when everything is kind of going to shit. It's only going to last so long. It's going to come back to the good and it just goes up and down.
And we try to remember what people always say is like, you're going to look back one day and realize it was actually like beautiful in the moment. Because some days like the house is just a bombshell. We're just like, we're stressed. There's like, we're ordering takeout because there's no time to cook. And one kid's sick. One kid we're trying to keep away because we don't want him to get sick. And then at the end of the day, you're like, couple of years will go by and they'll all of a sudden just be in school and playing sports, and we'll be like, that was actually chaos, but it was kind of cool that we did it.
Yeah.
Is this currently, do you think, the hardest season of life that you've been in?
No, as soon as Nash started moving, as soon as our youngest started moving, like when he's a baby, it's just like put him in the bassinet, figure out what Augie's problem is. But once Nash could start really moving around and running, and now it's just full chaos from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m.
And you guys just...
You're scaring anyone who doesn't have kids right now.
No, but this is the reality.
You guys
of being
also
a
just
parent.
had a really scary incident that happened, correct?
Yeah,
Like one of
so
your
that's
kids.
kind of made everything.
Yeah, so our youngest Nash he's got something going on with him, and we're still we have an appointment coming up at Sick Kids in Toronto. We're just trying to figure out something's going on with him, and we're not sure what it is. There's been a couple of times where me as a first responder, it's like one thing to go to a call, but we've called 911 now 3 times for him. So and he was just his first ambulance ride. He likes to hold his breath. He has a problem with mucus where he chokes on his own mucus a lot when he gets worked up. So we're just trying to figure out through specialists on what the course of action is, and if it's just a temporary thing at his age or if it's something that we can take care of. But I did make a post that we talked about a little bit earlier, that anybody who's around a kid, whether it's a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a babysitter, or anything, take the weekend course of CPR for kids. Because last week when Astrid was in the bath with the 2 boys and she screamed my name, I ran upstairs and he was choking. And he was bright blue from like the nipples up, and completely limp and like lifeless. And when you think of your own kid with the tongue out and the eyes rolled back, and and he's soaking wet from the tub, so he was slipping in my arms, but he was just blue and completely non-responsive. I saw he wasn't breathing, so I had to give him some back blows and some chest compressions, which can be pretty traumatizing as a dad and also as a kid. But luckily I knew what I was doing, and I was like in tears, panicked. So I can only imagine what someone that has never had to, like, unfortunately I've done CPR on many kids before, but it's never been so personal. So I'm just encouraging everyone I come across to just learn it, because you'd be surprised how much, oh yeah, this is what I should be doing, rather than just freezing and staring. Because without knowing what to do, it can really go
like a matter of a second when you're dealing with something like that. Yeah. So every second really matters. So, and
my biggest piece of advice for anyone is just remember, it's nothing like TV. It's not like Baywatch where they're just kind of doing this and everyone wakes up. You have to be really rough and really aggressive with how you're doing it, because they're resilient. Kids are resilient, and they want that to come out. If they're choking, you just have to really force to get it out. So I encourage anyone listening that's around small kids to get certified in CPR.
Well, that's really scary and very important information. Like I would never, ever have thought of doing that.
I have my CPRC.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have like all my certifications because I was like a swim teacher for a couple of years, and you have to have all of that. But I've seen just like people I follow on TikTok and stuff, I always thought this was a good idea. Like pregnant people that have gotten their families together and been like, okay, we're just gonna, you can like have someone come into your house and like do it. Like there's so many different options depending on what works for you. Len being like, everyone, that wants to do it, that's going to be around the kid, like come over and we're going to host it and we're all going to get certified together.
Well, I had a DM from a grandmother in her 60s the other day that said, I posted it one day and it was 2 days later that they were at a family barbecue and a 7-month-old started choking on something she found on the ground, like whether it was a piece of food or whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody froze. And the grandmother was the one that, without even taking CPR, just listening to my post
and watching YouTube
and gave some back blows. And the little piece of food came out of the baby's throat. So a lot, even I said in the post, a lot of it's just, even just watch a really good YouTube video and grab a doll or a stuffed animal. You'd be surprised how much that would get you familiar with kind of what to do.
And even if you've done the course and it's been a while, it's always a good idea to get kind of like just brushed back up on, because we did it during COVID, because that's when I was pregnant, and then we just kind of forgot about it, and I never actually went. I just did everything online, and you realize you get so comfortable with nothing ever happens until all of a sudden something happens, right? And you want to be prepared. So, and
then I'm sure it's different too when you're actually in that moment and you're terrified and in shock, like being like, my God, what did I learn 10 years ago?
Yeah, I didn't even try to do anything myself. I just go, Kevin, let's just get the firefighter in here.
Yeah, all 3 times it's happened, I've been at home. So, we've been lucky that way, because it's not putting Astrid on the spot. Like I said, she had both the boys in the tub So she pulled the youngest out. Augie was still in the tub. So it was just a chaotic scene. But I just encourage everyone to get brushed up, especially if you're around small kids.
Yeah. Well, Sick Kids is a great hospital. My sister was there when she was a kid. So hopefully you guys get it figured out.
I always I sometimes question like how we were able to
get
evolve.
this far.
Like how were
today we were talking about people giving birth in caves and like how
exactly. Like
by luck. Like it's not by anything other than we got lucky because the right amount of cave people didn't die, and we just somehow made it all the way to this point.
Yeah, like I feel like we made it so much farther than we should have.
Like how is the 3-month-old surviving in a cave? Like with people not even like really even speaking language yet. Like what the fuck? It's so insane to me.
Recently, a new client called me and started me in resources.
Home, your favorite. I'm very passionate about golf.
Milligram radiopake. It's a prescription birth control. Removal of the implant may be difficult. 46752.
Waiting for you in the largest reward.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Big things are happening at your local CVS. Extra big. So hurry on over because extra big deals are here. Sign up online or in store and you'll
got married a couple weeks ago, so we did her bachelorette party in Miami and had a little mini
Bachelor Nation stuff. Astrid, you were just store or cvs.com/extra big deals to shop this week's deals and stock up on your favorite products. Okay. Bachelor Nation stuff. Astrid, you had like some reunion with Alexis Waters.
I did.
Some of the girls from your season.
Alexis just got married a couple weeks ago, so we did her bachelorette party in Miami and had a little mini reunion with a couple girls from our season, which was fun. And we realized next year is going to be 10 years since we filmed the show. So it's almost a decade of having known these girls now, which is insane. Because in some ways, I don't know if you guys are the same. I forget we met on TV. Like, I know it's a thing, but like, I don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
But
I don't think of it much. Yeah. So we got you guys' email. We never we don't talk about it.
You're like, oh my God. Like, so like in some ways it feels like yesterday. And then in other ways you forget that you ever kind of did it. So getting together with everyone was kind of nice to realize, wow, 9 years later and we're still good enough friends to kind of get together for this type of stuff. So
who was there specifically?
It was Alexis, obviously, and then Rachel and Jasmine and myself. I think that was it.
And you guys were all on Nick's season together.
We were all on Nick's season. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Are you still close with Christina? Weren't you guys really close?
Yeah, I still talk to Christina and Whitney. I don't talk to them as much anymore. Everyone just kind of goes through such different like phases of life, right? So I still talk to Alexis and Rachel pretty much every single week. And then everyone else, it's just like social media you kind of keep up with enough. But they were at the wedding, so all the big events we always try to get together.
Nice. Kevin, you did Traders in Canada?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, really cool one. Yeah. It's really good. It was like a fun show. Like it was a lot of fun. They reached out kind of last minute and said they film it in Montreal in like this huge mansion. And actually the host of the Canadian one is the best host of all the franchises.
Really?
She's like French Canadian. She's like, she plays the part perfect and you can't ever see her out of character. Like every time we saw her, even off camera, she's fully done up, like ready to go, full character. So it was really cool. Exact same premise as the American one. I ended up, I got sent home at the last round table.
You did good.
My problem was I made a final two with two people. And one of them I was serious about, and I just didn't reiterate enough with her that she was my final two. And if she would have not written my name down, we had like the ending right to the end, the two of us. And like, it sucks because she's like the sweetest lady, like a teacher from Edmonton. And we were just going to ride off and do Too Faithful at the end. And then she wrote my name down because the girls got their hooks in her.
Was there anyone else on it that we would know?
It was like Big Brother Canada players and like more along that line. But I didn't really know anybody. I didn't really know anybody.
No, I feel like Netta, the girl that won, was like the big Canadian girl that most people would recognize from Big Brother.
And there's
Canada's Drag Race.
Melinda was from Canada's Drag Race, and then there was my friend Lauren. She's just on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, like this week. Lauren Chan. She's a model from New York.
Okay.
Really cool. Really, really cool. I just saw
Yeah, she just got the cover this year. Yeah.
Wow, that's
nice.
amazing. That's sick. You've
It was
had a
fun.
crazy, like,
Kevin,
I
you
feel
low
like-
key have been on a lot of
like
television
your
shows.
reality journey is like so under the table. I feel like
Yeah.
no,
And
but
he
like
does
you,
well every time. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't ever get sent home first week. He's there all 10 episodes every show he does. It doesn't
well,
matter.
because you did Bachelorette Canada and you got engaged on that, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then you did Bachelor Winter Games. Is that
Yeah.
what it was?
No, yeah, Bachelor Winter Games.
Bachelor Winter Games,
Yeah.
and you ended up dating someone from that, right?
Well, it was like a game. We won the show.
Serena, Astrid's here, Serena.
Okay, well, it's public information. And then he met Astrid. And
Yeah,
then
we
you did Bachelor in Paradise Canada. You were the bartender, which I
Yeah,
think
I did
counts.
two seasons of that. Yeah.
And then you did Traders.
Yeah.
You're rivaling Joe right now for the amount of reality
Yeah,
TV you've
I've
done.
been on
Which
a
is
lot,
funny
too.
because they're like the least two guys that are into this at all. Like they both hate it, I feel like, secretly, and they're just kind of like along for the ride because we're like, no, come on, I want to watch you on TV. Can you do
Yeah,
it?
they're like, I guess I'll do another one.
I think the only part I like is the filming part. Like, I don't really like the build up. I don't love watching it. I don't really watch much. It's like I like the game show is the coolest part. Like I would
I
love
totally
to do.
get
I love when
that.
you like put yourself into a game show and it's kind of you versus everyone, which is obviously not the Bachelor world. So
Yeah.
Traders was like a new. We'd love to do Amazing Race Canada is one I'd like to do
Oh,
with
yeah.
Bachelor.
I feel like they would definitely.
Are you guys in talks at all with that,
Oh,
or
it's
is
the
that
same
just
production as Traders.
Okay.
Okay.
So we just because our kids are so young, we kind of shut it down this year. But yeah, maybe next year because it's a lot of fun. That would be a fun one to do.
Yeah.
That would be cool. You'd see so much of Canada too, which would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Astrid? Would you do Traders?
I feel like I don't know. I love watching all the shows. Like I watched Traders US, and he's like, "What is this you're watching?" I'm like, "Oh my god, such a good show! It's this murder mystery." And he's instantly like, "No, I'm out. I'm good. I don't want to watch it." So I feel like if I did the shows, it would kind of ruin it for me. Like I feel the same way about like Housewives would be like the one thing. If I ever ended up with Bravo, that would be my like, okay,
Housewives of Toronto, they need one.
Yeah, I really.
Housewives of Burlington.
Housewives of Burlington.
It's crazy how different, like, just like seeing you guys today and like thinking back on like our season of
Oh,
Paradise.
yeah, you guys were all in the same
Yeah,
one.
we're in the same season, and just like kind of even our season of Paradise, just like it was so different. Like the mindset was so different because social media was like there, but like people weren't really coming off the show making a living off of social media. So it was really, we were all just like after we filmed Paradise, it was like, all right, let's all go to LA and like hang out and for a weekend and
Free
and
dinners.
get free dinners.
See if
That
we get
everyone
a
would go
free
home.
dinner.
But yeah, it was
How
different.
do you guys think if you were to go on the show now, is there anything you would do differently or like a different approach you would take to it? Just having like done the show before and now knowing like how much it's transformed?
I mean, personally, I actually think the only approach is to always just actually be yourself. Like, I think when you try to like think ahead too much or pre-plan too much, it just doesn't ever work out. I think when it happens organically on any show, it kind of always works the best.
Yeah, it seems to work less for the people that are putting on the show. Like, I feel like it's kind of the boring people that end up succeeding in the long run. If you look at all like the successful couples, they're like not the ones that are in Speedos or throwing stuff in the ocean or like, doing all the stuff. I'm thinking of our season, just all the extra BS that goes on. It's always just like the normal people that go on and treat it more like a social experiment, meet everybody. I was trying to meet all the guys, all the girls, have a good time with everybody. And you just kind of find your way to somebody that you click with and then take it from there. I'd probably do the exact same thing if I did it again.
Yeah.
You guys were locked in pretty early. I mean, I would say it was like day 2 or 3. It was like,
Something like that, 2 or 3 that we were just, and then people come in and you realize you've already hung out for a week with someone and someone comes in and it's almost like, even at a bar talking to someone for an hour and someone else comes up to you, you're already interested in the person for the hour. So you're just brushing the other person off. I think that's the way with Paradise a lot. Once you get to know somebody, that relationship already trumps anything new that's coming in. So you just kind of brush everyone else off.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the advantage of being down there early too versus having to come in late. It's like a lot of people are so locked in. And as people that are like more normal and like we're locked in early also, like I agree if you're looking to find a serious relationship and you think like your person might be there just like chilling out and locking in is the move. But also I'm like so grateful for the other people that like are stirring shit up, because it's like you let me just lay on a cot and like talk about you.
Well, I
don't have to do as much.
Other people's drama and then seeing how the other person takes it in actually tells you a lot about that person. Because if somebody's doing something crazy and he thinks it's funny and I think, oh, it's kind of offensive.
Yeah.
That kind of tells me a lot about his personality. So I'm like, okay, maybe we're not on the same page about things. So
yeah.
So true.
But a lot of people go on the show, and I'm sure it's changed in your eyes too since we were on it, where now that it can be turned into more of a career if you wanted to take it like the public eye view. If your motives are into that only when you go into it, like we talked about it a little bit on our season. I feel like a lot of people that put on a big show, they get home, they start posting, and some people are like, well, you're not as crazy as I thought you were. That was just
you
know what I mean?
You build like a more authentic connection with the people that are watching
well,
you.
Well, that's because they can relate. I think most people want to be able to relate with the person on TV, and like it would be like, I feel silly acting that way, so I'm not going to do it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, have you guys heard about the changes as far as golden people are now added to?
Yeah, I heard the golden
Paradise?
people will be there, which I think if there's too much cross age dating, it could get kind of weird. I'm hoping they're just there for like advice. Like I'm hoping it's like the golden people date, the other people date, maybe like one cross dating would be kind of fun, and then it's just like having that like listening ear of the older people giving advice, maybe, because
I can't see this at all. I can't see the crossover. Well, I'm picturing, first of all, if you're single and you're 70, what advice are you giving? like I'm just saying, it's like
some of them have spouses that have passed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah.
So we can take them out of that equation.
All like 70-year-old fuckboys who never settle down. And I'm just like,
that would be a different story.
That's a different show.
But it's a different show. But the cross dating might be interesting. Like I guess, I was in my 30s. We were old. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think about Costa Rica now? I'm a little sad about the cellulite compound.
I guess it's just nostalgic, and to see it every season, having like Matt and gotten engaged there, we're like, oh, like it's sentimental.
And what about Jorge? Does he go?
Jorge probably not.
I think he's been Jorge. I'm pretty sure has been gone for like 3 seasons. Yeah.
Actually, he wasn't on our
Jorge's
season.
last season was like our season, I think. Yeah.
But I also think some of these shows, like especially a show as like it's been around as long as The Bachelor, like a good facelift is like one day you'll look and say in 20 years from now, and it's had 20 good seasons in Costa Rica. It's still pretty cool to look back and be like, oh, do you remember that's how it used to be? Like it's going to be that way. Every show is going to kind of change.
Definitely.
The same when you change hosts or change locations. It's the same kind of thing. You just kind of move on from it. But Costa Rica will be pretty cool.
Costa Rica is beautiful. I'm excited for like the evolution of the show. I'm excited to see like visually what it looks like the new set and everything.
I'm actually wondering, is the resort just going to be back to like we can go there now in Celulita? Because that would be a cool trip to take. Just go and like book a room and stay there for a few nights.
Well, we could. It's always been an option to even like off season. You could book it, but Bachelor goes in there and decorates it because it looks much different. Like I've looked it up online. It's like I don't think you even want to stay there.
Off. I think they like take off the doors and like there's a lot done to it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't necessarily. It would be the same location, but I don't know if it would feel necessarily the same because they like do so much to it.
Yeah, that's true. It's something cool to go down. Like even if you were staying close by and you went down and used the beach for a day or something.
Yeah,
definitely. Go back and see it again because we haven't been back.
Yeah.
So you guys haven't been back as a guest or anything since your season?
We went to Joe and Crystal's wedding. Sorry.
This is Joe. I'm Joe. Oh yeah, I was there too. I was at that wedding.
We went to Chris and Crystal's wedding, but that was it. That was the last time we went back to Sausalito, so we haven't been back.
Yeah.
Nice. What advice would you give to a successful couple that comes off the show for this season, as far as adjusting in the real world? And you guys both we've had the same. I don't want to call it an issue, but like Canadian, US, like all that shit.
Well, I think even when you're on the show, like it's not a bad thing to talk about location right off the hop, because
For sure.
how many times do you hear them come off and then it's one didn't want to move or the other one couldn't do that? Even state to state. For us, it was day 3 by the time I was saying to Astrid, I want to retire a firefighter, so I got to stay where I'm at. And she was like, "Oh, I'm from Europe. Toronto's so similar. Like I love it." And it kind of helped us get into it. I'm sure you guys had a similar combo where it wasn't like a deterrent, like, "Oh, she's Canadian," or "Oh, he's American." It was like kind of like something you have to figure out. So even state to state, I just say you got to figure that out early on, because you don't want to come off in the first issue be like, "Well, I'm not moving. Are you moving?"
Yeah, we definitely talked about it.
You just kind of have to take that leap of faith. Like I think if you don't just like fully commit to the relationship right away, then you're just kind of playing pretend for a little bit. Then you get caught up in the validation of fans and this and what people are saying. I think you just have to like take a leap of faith, dive in, and just focus on your relationship, and then see what happens, and then everything else just kind of goes from there.
And try to have fun with the little bit of notoriety you get, because it is kind of fun off the hop. Like we enjoyed, the people wanting to ask us questions about it. We enjoyed doing interviews. It was kind of a fun, exciting part to do together, because then eventually it goes away. And now nobody really cares. We're just kind of the people that met on the show. So you enjoy it too. Like don't just brush it by, kind of enjoy the time and enjoy it and make the most of it.
Yeah, I always say that. I think that's just so important to have the conversation of like, will you move? Will I move? Like we have to figure that out, because if you're going to come off the show and play the long distance game for a year, it's like, that's going to be really hard to make that work.
Yeah. And it's just going to make that decision harder a year later, right? Because then you've been together, and it makes it way more difficult, because now you're just way too involved.
Yeah.
So Astrid, either dive right in or break right out. That's our advice.
Astrid, did you move right away? Did you how immediate was that?
Pretty much. So we had filmed in June, and then our season got done airing in September, and then we moved into our condo in December of that year. So it was like less than 6 months after we met, I was moving.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think we were 10 months.
Yeah.
Because your lease was up in the spring.
Yeah.
But I was in Chicago a lot that year.
Yeah, you were like staying at my place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the moving initially, because you're just like moving countries and trying to figure it all out, all the chaos.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole thing.
Congrats on your green card. That's
Thank
so
you. Thanks. That's I know. It's been a
long time.
road.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you actually, because I was like, damn, when I change my name, I'll eventually have to do all the paperwork and all the things.
I know. I still haven't done all of it. Like all my passports, my, residency card, all of the important stuff has changed, but I still get like random bills and like random credit cards that I forgot about. I'm like, oh yeah. It's so time consuming.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to chill for a second, and then we'll tackle that down the line. No rush.
Recently, a new client called Unlimited
Delivery trucks outside your home. Right now,
Progesterone implant 68 and use a non-harm to your doctor. Visit next.
Outdoor gear and find yours in and explore
you and your family use every day. This week's deals and stock up on your favorite products.
It's always cool to see the one guy or one girl from 5 years ago, like the main kind of stuff. Like
you guys been keeping up at all with like the past CVS store or cvs.com/extra big deals to shop this week's deals and stock up on your favorite products. Have you guys been keeping up at all with like the past few seasons of the shows, or anybody you would want to see in this upcoming season of Paradise?
I mean, we haven't really, like, we just know like the main kind of stuff, like Astrid will fill me in, but I kind of want to see people like maybe not as far back as 10 years, but it'd be cool if they started sprinkling in not just like the most current men, current women put together, but it's always cool to see the one guy or one girl from 5 years ago come on that maybe got out of a relationship or is freshly single, and then they make a big splash. So I always just think that's cooler, because then people are looking them up, like, which season's that guy on? Or where's that from? It kind of creates more of a buzz than just the most current, 7 most featured girls and guys get together. But
totally. Well, and the thing with those people is they've usually met or interacted, because they've all come off the show around the same time, and they've had some time, and they've been at a bar in LA and all this stuff. Like our season was fun because there was a lot of people.
Surprise.
Like Joe and Tia and Becca that were like from the past that were coming back, and I feel like the fans love that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always who I look forward to. And I'm looking forward to the Golden people too, I guess, because I feel like I've been watching Golden Bachelor, Bachelorette. I haven't watched the other ones. So I actually know the Golden people better than the young people. So I'm excited I just like seeing older people date. Like I see a couple in their 80s holding hands. I just think that's the cutest thing ever. So that's what I'll be watching for.
Do you have a favorite from Golden that you want to see down there?
I honestly love them all. They're like all so they're wholesome.
She cries every other scene.
I love wholesome love, and I feel like the younger one, like it's a little bit more catty and like. And I go to Housewives for that. So like I just love the wholesomeness of and like the camaraderie of the people too, right? Like that's like the part when you film the show. It's like our Bachelor, it's like, okay, whatever. It's like we were hanging out with all of the girls. Like that's the part that was fun. So then I also like seeing like all the old guys hanging out with each other and the girls. Like I think that part is always fun. So I think that part will be really funny. Seeing some of the older guys and younger people like having those funny moments.
And I think it was time to change locations because I don't know if any senior citizen can handle Celulita.
Well, Costa Rica is is really hot and humid as well.
It is hot. Yeah, you're right. Especially that time of year.
Yeah.
But those crowds and stuff, I don't know. I just don't know if they could have handled the beach.
It was also just like a lot of stairs, a lot of like ups and downs, like bunk beds. Like
Wait, is that why they changed it to accommodate for?
I don't know.
Actually, maybe. I wouldn't be shocked.
Too many stairs. Well, getting up to the girls' room, like it was a lot of stairs.
It was a lot of stairs.
we're actually we're recapping Bachelor Pad because they just put it on Bachelor Nation's YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
Have you ever seen how fucking batshit crazy that show was? Like before it morphed into Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, they had competitions and stuff, right?
Yeah. We just watched episode 2, and it's like they're in the Bachelor Mansion. It's just a different time of TV.
So
rewatching
old reality TV actually is my favorite thing in general. Like
you should watch this. You should watch it. It's on
very
YouTube.
Offensive. Like the things.
Oh yeah.
On television and how it was okay to be aired.
Some of the stuff they're saying about each other is like genuinely so mean, so offensive.
That's what's changed the show a bit too, right? Like now we're all just like hyper aware of what we're saying and how it comes off and how people perceive it. Like old school reality, like 2002 to 2008. Not okay.
No. The one girl walked up to the so the one guy on the show is like a fan, right? They bring some fans on the show.
Like alumni cast members, and then they threw in like 5 super fans of the show.
And this girl walks up to him because she finds out that he's going to vote for her. She walks up to him. She goes, "I just want to let you know, I think you're ugly." And I hate you. I was just like, oh my God. Like, Jesus, fuck.
Like, everyone's coming for everyone's like physical appearance, what they're wearing, their personalities. Like,
different
it's
time.
Cutthroat, but yeah.
I feel like it was ahead of its time. Like, that could be on like a streaming service, like a hardcore reality show.
Bring that back and do like competition stuff. See, that's the reality shows we love. Like, if there's money involved, you can win at the end.
Stuff we love.
That's what we love to watch.
Yeah.
So if they bring back Bachelor Pad, sign us up.
Idea.
Yeah, they should. I actually do think it was ahead of its time a little bit.
Well, essentially, I mean, that's kind of, Kevin, wasn't that kind of similar to how Winter Games was? Could you win money in Winter Games? Was there any?
So yeah, Winter Games was premised on like the Olympics were going on, and the ratings for NBC are so massive that we're like, let's make it like, I think it was Chris Harrison said, let's make a show that's like let's put them on ice. Let's put like, you should see some like. Let's see like Ben Higgins skate in a leotard. Like it's like there's some pretty good scenes because we all are like not Olympic athletes, but they tried to make us Olympic athletes.
Oh, were they making you do like activities and challenges?
That's what it was. So like the first one, like we did downhill skiing, which like Dean killed us all because he's from Colorado, and he killed us. And then we had to do speed skating. And Benoit and I were like in Canada. So we got to wear like the full Canada gear and everything. And it was like, we did a big parade.
I did watch the first episode. You guys did the parade where you guys were walking out with like your countries and stuff like that, right?
So they did like a mock Olympics challenge style dating show.
Yeah.
But were you all single?
Yeah, like if you won the comp, you got to like get a date card for the night and stuff. We went back to the mansion, and it was like,
So we should bring back Bachelor Pad, but do it with already established couples. Like scratch the dating, but do couples competing for money.
I've been preaching that for years, but nobody listens to me.
People would watch. People would like that.
I think so.
I
too.
remember watching. I watched like the first episode of Winter Games because it was like it came out. I want to say like 5 days before I was leaving to go on Becca's season, and I was like trying to like kind of get everything in. And I remember watching it and being like, "What am I doing? Like what television show am I about to go on?"
Yeah.
It gave me really bad anxiety.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
So you never watched Bachelor before you went on?
No. I mean,
You're not?
I did, yeah. And I mean, you were familiar because you have cousins and.
well, I knew what the show was. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people that we interview and they're like, I never even heard of it before. I was like, okay, well, you're fucking lying. You definitely heard of
You
it.
never went to the
Everyone-
grocery store and saw
The
Yeah.
amount of shows that like reference The Bachelor too, just in
Yeah.
like pop culture, is like every other show I feel like we're watching. We were watching like Rick and Morty, and they reference The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Like shows you would not expect.
Yeah.
I gotta stop swearing. My mom texted me the other day. She's like, stop saying the F word on the podcast. You don't swear that much in person. I'm like, that is actually true. I actually do say the F
I
word.
think
Oh
you
my
swear
God,
more in
Joel,
person than on the
Dang it.
podcast.
Bobby now says the F word because we say it quite a bit.
Oh, that's so funny. I
Now we're
love
like, oh, it's a grown-up word. So then he wakes up in the morning and he'll be like, "Mommy, I'm not going to say fuck today because it's an F word." I'm like, "Okay, you just said it though."
Yeah.
Try not to laugh. It's the hardest thing to not laugh at because you're like, buddy, we don't say that word. He goes, okay, Daddy, no more fuck, I promise.
I laugh just thinking about iPhone. When little kids swear, I find it so funny,
know.
which is a problem
Cracks up.
because I
He uses it
know.
appropriately when he's like playing with his dinosaur and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking get you." Like,
Well,
why
that's
would
what
I
it's
use
funny.
that
It's like
in the right context. I
it's
really
like,
need to
how
watch
do you
it.
know?
Yeah.
Augie and his little glasses kills me. He's so cute.
He's the cutest little kid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you guys ever when your kids get older, would you ever let them go on reality TV? Is that a thing?
Good question.
I think it depends on the show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah, I think
some
so.
reality TV like that's on that I wouldn't ever go on, you know. And then there's like The Bachelor. It's like nice and clean, and you know. So I think it would depend on the show.
Yeah, I'd let him go on.
Yeah.
Nice. Any
I mean, once they're 18, you don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's just harder because it's like, I would say like, yeah, of course, like I would be a hypocrite if I didn't like fully support them if that's something they wanted to do. I mean, there's some shows that I would prefer them go on than others, our hypothetical non-existent children. But at the same time, I think there's like the anxiety of like, you know too much. Like I think it's almost easier to let your kid go on when you like have no idea
Yeah,
what's
I
actually going
agree-
to
I
go down
agree
when
with
you're
that.
there and like what could potentially happen after. Like we know so much, both like our story and like the not so cute stories of being a part of this show. So like I would just have an additional layer of like caution surrounding
I guess
it.
it depends on the kid too. If I felt like my kid was like smart and level-headed and
Yeah.
themselves well, I'd be like, okay, I trust you. But if my kid was a little
Crazy.
quirky and like, you know, didn't
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't advise this. Knowing who you are as a person, like even friends. I have friends that I think would be great, and I have friends that I love, but I'd be like, I don't think this is for you.
like you'll never get a job again if you go.
It's also like, what are the odds that like mommy and daddy had a great experience and it worked out, and it works out for you guys? Like the odds are just so low.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're
That's
right.
true.
I don't know. Oh, you never know.
You never know.
Before we let you guys go, anything you got upcoming you want to share? Anything you want to plug? Anything like that?
You guys chilling in Burlington? You moving anytime soon?
Well, first of all, before I forget, Joe, whenever you're in Toronto, let's do a round of golf this summer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm like 30 minutes from Toronto, and we can meet in the middle. Oakville has a lot of great courses. We could meet somewhere in the middle and do a round. I'm trying to break. I broke under 103 times last year, and that's. But I'm usually like between 1 and 115 if I have like a. I count every stroke though. Like I do.
Me too.
I count every single. I don't tap in. I mean, I don't. My buddy's on Canadian long drive. He drives it like 400 yards.
Wow.
But he's been teaching me a lot of stuff, and he's always like, dude, you can take that. I'm like, no, because if I start taking the 2-footers, I'll miss them.
When does it end? When does it end? I agree.
So let's play around this summer.
Yeah, definitely. We just got an apartment in Toronto, so we'll be there a lot. So
Congrats, it's
yeah.
awesome.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, we're excited. It'll be fun. I gotta take you. You haven't been to the beaches yet. You guys lived in the beaches for a while at one point.
No,
didn't
we
you?
were in Liberty Village.
Oh, why did I
we
think
were
you
there,
were the
yeah.
beaches?
We used to go to the beaches, like we had friends over there, but we were always
Okay.
like, right
Well,
in
you haven't
the-
been to Liberty. I took you to Burger Drop, so it was like the dead of winter. We'll
Yeah.
take you to Liberty Village. It's cute over there.
The only thing I'd like to plug is Astrid and I are running a fitness retreat. We've done one already. It's called Active Escapes. It's a company from Australia, but they've expanded to this side of the world. So we ran the first one in February, and it's in Cancun. And basically, it's a week vacation where you just turn your brain off and follow the schedule. Like yoga retreats are really popular. It's similar to that, but it's
a little more intense.
It's a little more intense. You get like a morning beach workout. Usually there's some kind of activity, whether it's a catamaran or some kind of local cenote visit or whatever you do. And then you do an afternoon weight training session and a yoga session, which she coaches. And then there's like a party day. There's like, it's a really big social group. I've done 7 of them, but all over the world. And now that they've expanded, Astrid and I took on this franchise in Cancun. So it's called Active Escapes if you look it up. And our branch is Active Escapes Cancun. And the next one we run is December 1st.
Is it similar to Surf Yoga Beer?
So they stole it from them.
Yeah, they ripped off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Active Escapes have been around for 15 years. They have, I don't know, like I've been to the one in Dubai. They got them in all over Indonesia and all over Australia, like a lot of that side of the world. They do like a boat retreat where the full, in the Maldives, where you're on a boat for the whole week. It's like a yacht retreat.
But yeah, it's just like a week of like fun workouts, drinking, and people come as couples, people come by themselves. Like about half of our guests are usually single people traveling, just looking to meet new people. Yeah. So it's a really fun way. If you like working out and meeting new people, and some people will do one workout in the first day, and then you just only see them at the social things. So they're like,
really? Okay, so it's like casual.
It's very, very casual. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's like the repeat guest is like in the 80%. Like people that are signed up have usually already been to one, so it can get really addictive. It's a lot of fun. So if anyone's looking for like a before Christmas getaway where you come back a little bit fitter than you left, it's something to look into.
Nice.
Wait, that sounds so fun. I actually would love to do something like that.
Our first trip ever post Paradise was to one in Bali. And I, at that point, was like just doing yoga. And I literally thought I was going to die during the obstacle course.
Yeah.
And like when you finish the week, you feel like you can take on anything. Like you're just like, I'm a superhuman. I can do 3 workouts a day and still drink tequila and nothing phases me.
Okay, well, everyone listening, be sure to check out Active Escapes, Cancun edition. Yeah, maybe we'll go to the next one.
That would be amazing.
We'll
talk.
Yeah, send us the info.
Awesome.
And I'll definitely hit you up for golf. And thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour.
We will have more exclusive interviews coming your way. Thanks for listening. Bye.